Okay, so let's take a look behind the scenes at what makes automations inside of HoneyBook so powerful. Now, you can set up an automation that has one step, or you can set up automations that have many steps. I'm going to show you one that's somewhere in the middle. Now, I use automations specifically to reduce steps such as automatic replies, follow-ups, or onboarding, offboarding within my business. Let's take a peek at one that is specifically designed when folks book a 50-minute one-on-one coaching call with me. What we're looking at here is essentially the automation workflow. There's a start and then there's an end. Now, as you can see, I have 4 steps inside of my automation. This first step here, I've decided to send an email when something happens. So once Danielle books their 50-minute call with me, this will wait 15 minutes and then send this congratulatory, here's what to prep before our call, reminder that you'll receive a Zoom link, etc., etc. And that's gonna send 15 minutes after they booked their session with me. Then fast forward to whenever that session occurs, whether it's next week or next month, 5 minutes after our coaching session comes to a close, I am going to send them a request for a testimonial. Now, for me in my business, I actually use testimonials as a way to gauge how I'm serving my clients. So it's more of like a performance review and less of a, give me 5 stars on Google. So I send them a link to complete a survey that's within like Google. I can then always customize this later. But not only just sending emails to folks, because that's really what I use automations for, but you can also create a task inside of your workspace. You can send smart files, you can send a brochure, you can move someone to a next pipeline stage. I could also send them a file, such as sending a brochure to have them review my services before our intro discovery session. I could create a task, such as create folder in Drive, right? And I want to have this happen once the first payment is made, right? So for my logo design business, when someone makes their initial deposit, I then want to create a folder inside of my Google Drive, and I want to be reminded automatically through automation to complete that task. And that task would show up in my dashboard on the homepage, as well as inside that specific client workspace. Now, quick note, you can also marry automations with Zaps in your business, but that's a whole other video for another day. So let's say that I wanted to send some offboarding, so I can send an email 1 month after our work is completed to check in with the client. I could also send an email 6 months later. You really are the one that sets up the parameters for how you want to engage with your end user through automation. And again, automations can be simple and 1 step, or they could be much more robust and about 20 steps further. The big caveat that comes with automations is go slow in the beginning. Well, before you build out a 20-step automation, make sure that you have the data to prove that that automation should exist, right? The automation that you're looking at right now with my onboarding email and offboarding emails only came after working with about a dozen clients. And I said, you know what? I keep noticing that I send the same email to this person, right? Or I keep noticing that at point X in my process, Y needs to happen. That's when an automation is super helpful. However, that doesn't mean you can't get started with automations right now. You can get started by just sending an automatic email reply, right? That either sends them a link to book a call with you or to access a smart file. So definitely take a peek around automations and see which direction you could take triggers and how it could benefit your business. So coming up next, I'm going to shift gears and show a little bit more of the back end settings and branding opportunities inside of HoneyBook.